Hello, my friends. Today I'm here with my friend. His name is Lopes. So, since I met with him, he's very nice man. He's all the time studying a lot of things, and I have discussed a couple of things. But I know he's very nice man. So let's come and discuss with him some things. He's my friend, so Lopes. So one thing I can tell about him that he is very nice man. He is gentleman. He worked a lot companies. He has a lot of experience in different areas. I saw his very beautiful car outside in the parking, and
My motorhome, right?
yeah, most of the time I saw him. He's uh, visiting the city on his own bicycle. I think I saw two bicycles are there.
Yeah.
So sometime he is using one bicycle, sometime other bicycle. He's a good mechanic. He's doing a lot of things by himself. So and he has good experience. So let's discuss with him about his experience. So Mr. Lopez, can you describe about yourself? First, introduce yourself, and then we will go further more.
First what? Sorry?
Introduce yourself.
So I'm a pork chop. I come from Portugal. Grew up pretty much by the sea, which I miss a lot. It's a very nice country to visit. It's a quite a harsh country to make a living.
But now you are living in Canada, so you have to introduce Canada also.
Yeah.
Because Canada is the part of paradise, I think.
It's on opposite sides.
Okay.
This is a very consumerist society which carries a lot of bad strain. It puts a lot of strain in the environment, in the people.
So
And
first introduce yourself. Who are you? Why you are here?
so,
When you came here?
well, I came here because I married a Portuguese Canadian.
That was your love marriage or just marriage?
Pardon?
That was your love marriage or just married?
It started as a love marriage.
Oh.
From a very long acquaintance. She was a cousin of mine with no blood relation, but I always knew her as my cousin's sister, or half sister. And
What do you mean by cousin sister? It means she's your cousin.
because she was a girl married from a previous marriage.
Okay.
So no
Okay.
blood relation,
I understand. I understand.
but she was the sister. She was the kid of my aunt, who married my uncle. My
Okay.
mom's
So when
brother's
you move
brother.
in Canada,
Yeah,
when you move in Canada, what year? Which
the
year?
second time in 2004.
4.
So I was here in the 70s. I went to Woodstock High School. I was here as a tourist with a student's visa, living in my uncle's place. He was a share grower back then. So I was here for 2 years, and I did grade 9, and then went back to Portugal because of the military service.
So you worked in a military service also?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's why you have a lot of experience in different fields.
I didn't gain much from military experience. I was called by the Air Force, and then it was a bit of a mess because I had a job in a computer company that I wanted to hold. So I was always going back and forth, trying to get away from military service because we're mandatory. We had 3.5 years of military service. But anyways, I did manage to hold the place at that in those days it was Univac. the computer company. And where was I?
Yeah,
So yeah, so I was here in the 70s, and then I went back to Portugal, and then things were very sketchy because we had just gone through a revolution that overthrew a fascist regime, and, between jobless and a place here and a place there, everybody was scratching for a living. It was a place in the time of turmoil. So, anyways,
so
in the 90s, after I left the computer company, I ended up doing stained glass because my aunt had a stained glass studio by the seaside. Again, that's one of the places I love. And for a while my aunt came to Canada because she was a former immigrant. She was here for 3 or 4 years. Me and her daughter took care of the studio and did quite a few jobs in stained glass. Then she went back and turned the place upside down, so we had to take off. We couldn't live around her any longer, and she was making a mess of the studio, a mess of the family life, and that's when me and my wife, who had a Canadian citizenship, came over. That was in '04, and she sponsored me to come to Canada, and I started a second life here. Worked for a few years in a distribution center.
you like the first life for there or the Canadian life? Which one is the better? I think
It's a mess. The style of life. Oh, Portugal, well, any Mediterranean country, you have a laid-back, a social way of life in which you socialize, which is very important. There's a reason a lot of people are going crazy in this country. It's because they're in a straitjacket between working very hard for money, to have money to buy a lot of stuff that they come up with a way of feeding people that they need. So one of the reasons for marketing is, and I've read that in marketing books, is to create necessities.
okay.
That's one of the most awkward ways of dealing with this Mother Earth. I find it carries little or no respect for the living things of this planet. When I hear about problems in the environment, I always hear the side that, oh, it affects the humankind. How about the other kinds? The green kind, the irrational animals? Do we ever think of respecting that? So that's one of the reasons why I love so much this lady, Jason Wilson Raybould.
Yeah, we discussed about that before.
She's a native, and that's one philosophy, one spirituality that I really praise, and I see a lot of value in.
That's good. I have one more question. Whenever I saw you or whenever I met you, always you are reading books.
Mm-hmm.
And what about those books? And once I gave you the English translation of Quran. So did you read that?
I started reading it, and I had to put it aside for a while because I'm going through some mental imbalance.
And what type of other books you are reading?
Books about black issues, from the 1800s, the 1700s, the 20th and the 21st century. And right now I'm reading a book about a boxer from the late 19th century. He was the Cassius Clay of the days of the 19th
So
century.
what type of benefits you are getting that knowledge from those books?
Where
Did you did you get any benefit? Did you get anything from those books, or
understand?
just for knowledge?
It's both. I like to understand the. First of all, get acknowledged with the struggles that not necessarily only, but especially the minorities went through or are go through the ages, through the times, and you have no better place to look at than the First Nations in this continent and the black diaspora.
Yeah, but it's my own idea. If we are reading other books, just we will get the knowledge of the world or the people but from that book which I gave you, the meaning of Quran.
I had to interrupt the reading of that book because I couldn't focus.
No, just I'm telling.
I had sort of a mental meltdown.
I understand, but I'm gonna tell you something about that. Why I gave you that book?
Oh, okay.
Because if you are reading other books, you are getting the knowledge from the other guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But from that book which I gave you, if you will study, read it that book and go in the research for that book, you will know a lot of things about the everyday life, how we will survive, how we are working, what we will show, what are the respects of the woman, what are the respects of the neighborhoods. You may know a lot of things, but just if you will read once and go through the research, you will get the knowledge about our own life, how to survive, how to behave with other women, other men, how to behave with the animals, birds, and whatever. It means everyday life you will learn how to eat, and in Quran you will read the stories of the different prophets, what the people behave with those guys and what are the responses from that. Especially this is the last book from God, and it's on the last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if we are working in somewhere, like if we will work on the McDonald's, they'll give us the rules. You have to follow this rules. If you will not follow this rule, they'll kick out you. Am I right?
Yeah.
The same, all rules are in that Quran, because God created. We created by Allah, God, and if we will not follow Him, He may think that what He is doing. He will not kick out from His world, but He definitely think about that. So, just it's my idea. Read that book, and you may get very good knowledge from them, and how to survive, everything you will get from there. So it's my idea. Furthermore, it's up to you, and thanks for your time. I love your ideas, because most of the time I'm sitting with you and you are giving me good ideas. So see you next time.
Okay.
Thank you.